of us became aware when our bodies start, you start feeling stressed or you start feeling a little irritable. Everything boils down to realizing that there's something wrong with our bodies. But I'm saying, if we really teach our kids to start from an early age, which I guess is this initiative, because when we were growing up, I don't think there was major emphasis on, nobody really taught of what food to eat or how to exercise. If we did, it was okay. If we didn't do, it was okay. But if we actually started right from the beginning, because our schools are, still teaching us how to make a living. No school is really teaching us how to live. If they teach us how to live, physical activity will become a very important part of that life. If they teach us happiness, if they teach us... I think that will come back into this.
You were saying one of the fringe benefits of all of this is, and you were telling me a little earlier that anybody can come and punch you. Right? That's absolutely no impact. Are you standing? I mean, you know why? You know where I'm leading up to with this. We have 4 potential candidates.
Let's have some fun.
No, you mean that?
I mean it.
After all the exercise, anybody can punch you.
So let's have fun.
Wait a minute. I was thinking of ending up with Devendra, but right.
So
I thought
the deal
I thought we'd start with Dia.
Devendra gets to punch me once and I get to punch him 5 times. Okay, come on, Devendra. One good one. Good one.
Wait.
Yeah. Okay. नहीं बिल्कुल मारो. It's going to be tough, sir. बिल्कुल मारो, sir. ऐसा बिल्कुल मारो. I'm allowing you. Come on. No. Only see the theme is Vikram that only sports teaches you to take the blows in life with a smile.
He's not punching me.
I don't know.
Okay. We'll get Raju to punch.
There are plenty of guys in the crowd who are wanting to come.
Okay, all of you in the crowd can line up just after this. Dharmesh will be right here, so we can put this.
Call Ranbir Kapoor because he played a boxer in the movie that.
Yeah, I know. We'll get him back to do that. All right, I'm afraid we are almost flat out of time. Vijayanajit, before we go, any challenge you want to throw to anybody?
I think I give a challenge to you, sir.
What is it? I was hoping, me and my big mouth, why did I have to ask that last question?
Please, sir, please. Like, asking question, it's a very easy joke, right? Okay, why don't do that? Like, kiske saath kya karna? That's an easy joke. So, 100% is, it's going to be like tough.
100%, I negotiated a better deal sometime back.
Okay, 50, sir.
50 push-ups?
Yay!
After 100 days?
Yeah.
50 a day.
A day for 100 days.
Throughout the day.
Okay.
10.
We'll negotiate this.
Built up to 50 push-ups.
We'll negotiate this.
Okay.
We'll negotiate this. We'll figure it out. But okay, I'll make you one promise. And as a promise I've kept for the last 6 months, I'll keep it going. I will not take that lift, which I'm telling anybody in Ndtv again. No lift ever. And I didn't run up and down. And I'm sorry all of you guys in my ear, my producers who are saying no. Tough, you're doing it. That lift is going off. That's it right now. Thank you all so much for having joined us. Thank you. Great. Actually, I was giving myself another challenge, huh? Link, Shabdam the link. Sit here. Oh, what? I have to sit.
यही है मेरी दुनिया छोटे छोटे कदम लड़खड़ाए अगर है यकीन हौसलों पर मेरे हर रास्ते की है मंजिल आसमां उसी को पाने की है कोशिश अब यहाँ जरा गूंजी ख्वाहिशें
Ranbir Kapoor, thank you so much. Ranbir Kapoor, thank you so much for being with us. Ranbir, you've really been helping us so much in this all this time. Fitness means a lot for you, sports means a lot for you.
Absolutely, I think it's my mind. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. To be honest, fitness and sports is something which makes you happy. I think it changes your life. The first thing which always I think is the issue is the knowledge of it. You know, we are so distracted by other things that we ignore this side. I don't think there's anything greater than being fit, which will keep you happy in your mind and in your head.
Great. Well, you know, one of the first things that we've been talking about is marks for sports. Somehow getting schools to pay some attention to sports. You know, people tell their kids, you know, marks aapko marks aane chahiye, kya khel kood kar rahe ho? So how do we change that? How do we actually get, you know, sports put onto the curriculum? Now we've been pushing that for a while. We do have the Union Sports Minister with us, Sarbandas Sonowal, or we will have him in just a couple of minutes. But Devesh, this is a question we've been asking people. What is it that we would like the government to do on this?
Basically, Vikram, I think it is critical that we look at sports fundamentally differently. Till we don't do that, fundamental changes will not happen. We studied countries across the globe that do well in sport, and we realized that sports is given a lot more importance than what it is in India. So fundamentally, if marks are given for sports, suddenly you will have a totally different way of looking at sports. So at 6 o'clock, instead of the mother telling the child, "Okay, beta, don't waste your time in khelne kudne mein," she suddenly say, "No, 1 hour playing is very important because you'll get marks for it." So everything here is linked to marks. Everything is in India is linked to incentive. We need to incentivize sports and fitness to change the fitness scene in this country.
All right. Viren, any thoughts? I mean, is this a serious problem? When you're going out there trying to get champions, when you're trying to tell people, you see a kid and you see that kid and you say, that kid could potentially be getting a gold medal for India someday. And then the parents say, we don't want him or her to pursue sports. Then what happens? Hang on, I'm just going to interrupt ourselves. The Chief Minister just walked in. Thank you so much, Fadnavis. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a real pleasure to have you with us. We were just discussing this concept of sports, and the basic question is, as we were just saying, that sometimes parents don't want their children to pursue sports, even if they're a potential champion. Why? Because there are no marks for it, because it's not considered the right thing to do. So I was getting Viren to answer that, but maybe you want to just come in with your quick take on this?
Because I feel that parents feel that there is no career in sports in India. Actually there is, but not every child achieves what the ace players have achieved. So there is always a fear in the mind of the parents, and they want their child to go into mainstream. In Maharashtra, we have our policy, sports policy, which gives additional marks to those sports persons who cannot devote their time for studies but excel in sports. So we feel that by giving them additional marks, we ensure that they get admissions in good colleges, in the good courses. But I think we professionally, we need to encourage people so that they also encourage their children to go into sports. Right now, basically we are focused on 2-3 sports only in the society. If it's cricket, you get sponsors, but it's any other sport, you don't get a sponsor, or you don't see a very bright career. So I think once we professionalize most of the sports and we create a scenario where in any sports, if you excel, then you have a good career. If this is the case, I think that people will encourage their children.
All right. Viren, you want to come in on that?
I agree with the fact that right now, actually a very minuscule proportion of our population, especially the student population, actually plays sport. If you see a lot of the new schools in urban cities like Mumbai, most of the new schools do not even have playgrounds. So we got to figure out a way how to get kids playing. And what Dharmesh said that, you know, we cannot have sport right now. It's still regarded as an extracurricular activity. We need to get it into more a mainstream activity, that it is an integral part of education. And I think it's not just the sporting part of it, which obviously develops our health and excel, but also the sports person's attitude and mentality. I think the life lessons that you learn playing sport, especially team sports like football, hockey, cricket, I think they are lessons that a classroom can never teach you. You learn teamwork. None of us work in isolation.
Viren, you're preaching to the converted when it comes to why important it is. I guess the question that we are asking is that when you see some young, talented person, and you're saying, I wish this person would play for India someday, and that person's parents look and for good reasons. Look at the way we treat many of our sports people, including people who won medals for the country. Look at the conditions you sometimes go back and find themselves in. So with what heart can you go to a parent and say, no, make your daughter play sports, make your son focus on this? It's for us somehow to give that support system which gives them that comfort. Is that a problem you often face?
It's most definitely a problem, and especially in urban cities, you see very, very talented kids in sport. When you come to 10th standard or 12th standard, you're unfortunately faced with a very hard decision. Do I play sport, or do I pursue studies? I was very fortunate. I think that I was the third child. My parents were very strict with my eldest brother. They were okay, medium with the second guy, and when I came along, they just didn't bother. So, you know,
the third one is jo karna hai karna. Have fun.
So, yeah, it shouldn't be that case. It should be for all kids, and unfortunately, we realized only later in life that actually sport was important.
All right, Mr. Gauri, let me ask you this question then.
Some schools could utilize, but I think it's extremely important that many more of our children participate.
Okay, I'm going to turn to playgrounds in just a second, but cricket, of course, people now, I'm sure many people are looking at their kids and saying, yeah, play cricket, IPL aayega, bahut paise banenge, you know, it might be coming. But other sports, like you've been trying to promote football, for example, you know, one of our top football, and so does Ranveer, someone asking the same question. Is it tougher? And how can you and other corporates say we will give you a safety net if you're taking on sports in a big way?
India, unfortunately, has been a single sport nation. Cricket is religion for the Indians. So when
you give a message to other chief ministers on how they can take it forward.
No, that was a very good experience, but you know, we again want to change it. Initially, we started giving 25 marks to everyone, which was good. Then the policy was changed and the 25 marks were given only if you are short of 25 marks. So for passing, you used to get 25 marks. So I think we again want to go to the earlier policy where every player who plays at certain level gets certain marks, irrespective whether he has scored more marks even, then he gets this advantage because he has dedicated a lot of his time on the field. So he has lost time which otherwise he could have utilized for studies. So I feel that we will go back to this policy, and I think that is a good policy because it encourages even the scholars to play. Normally we have seen that after 8th standard or 9th standard, people quit sports because strength is a big deal in our country. So they naturally quit the sport. But when they feel that they get 25 marks and get admission wherever they want due to these 25 marks, they don't quit the field. So I think that's a very good thing to take it forward.
And what are you going to do with? What are you going to do with people who are, potentially the others who can argue for this to be now spread to other co-curricular activities also? Somebody's good in theatre and drama and all of that, but this is a good start.
we also have other policies which benefit them. So right now, let's focus on sports policy.
Okay. Just wanted to shift focus a touch to infrastructure. I really wanted you to get you in on this. When you look at the sports infrastructure that we have in our country now, we were discussing a short while back about how you run a football club. And even for a professional football club, it's sometimes tough to find places to practice. And if that's what happens, what's going to happen to somebody who just wants to go out and play?
Exactly. I've had the good fortune of managing and owning the Mumbai City Football Club. It's a huge platform, the ISL. I think football is such a growing sport in our own country. And you get the best of players from all over the world, you get the best managers. But when they come here, they don't know where to play because there's no ground. If my team is staying in Lower Parel, they have to drive all the way to Vashi. Like this Father Agnes ground, because the only ground that they can play is Cooperage, and that's artificial ground. But you actually play the sport on real ground.
From Parel, they're going to Vashi to play because they can't find football.
Because there's no way to play.
How are we ever going to become a sport? No wonder we are where we are in the FIFA rankings. If we can't, even a city like Mumbai, if you can't get a football ground to play in, that's quite serious. I think you face the same sort of problems, I'm sure.
In Bangalore, our team is from Bangalore. So Bangalore has got many football grounds. It's got the tradition of football. When I was studying in Bangalore, doing my engineering, at that time I used to play football. So, it's got that tradition, so therefore they have the grounds. But the stadiums are not in great shape. So we are now trying to create one stadium which will be of world-class quality.
Mr. Godrej, we keep talking about infrastructure as being
almost everything. And we've got to find solutions. But I think the emphasis on sports championship quality. So I think both are very important. Because I personally feel this regiments, it doesn't necessarily have to be for sport, it could be other fitness regiments. Health in the country, that to my mind can add tremendously to productivity and growth of the country. Health, overall health is very poor, aside from facilities for solutions for health.
All right, Viren, just on that note, wanted to come to you with a strange sort of a paradox, and I've been trying to understand why this happens. We say that sports infrastructure is really poor in the country. Where we get the most amount of medals seems a sport like shooting, which actually requires phenomenal infrastructure. Any particular reason for that? I guess it's partly because it's more of a concentration sort of a thing, and maybe Indians are good at that. But in general, the infrastructure question, we do very well in hockey, and hockey also requires a lot of infrastructure, perhaps more so than a sport like football does.